Hey, how you guys doing today? So, for those of you that are not familiar, when I do my readings, I do them for the highest good and the highest healing. The energy is interchangeable. Take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't, okay? You don't need to be running around stressed the fuck out over something that's not you. Yeah, so let's start. Now, some of you have some resentment towards someone else. It could be over something that was said to you. So understand, when we hold on to these things, it's only causing us damage, okay? It's not hurting the other individual, and 9 times out of 10 they don't even remember what the fuck they said to you. So holding on to these things is pointless. Speak up and say, when this happened, this made me feel however it made you feel. Accept it and let them know if you want to, and if you don't, just let it go. But make peace with however that situation made you feel, and don't keep holding on to it, especially if it's something that you're trying to mend, or you're trying to fix the relationship. You can't hold on to resentments and say I forgive you and keep trying to fix the relationship. You have to completely let this go. So that means you need to heal that, okay? You can't keep holding on to it, because none of us are perfect. We all have our flaws. We all do our shit, So you just look at them as if they were you. How would you want to be treated? Would you like to be forgiven? Would you like that to continue to be held against you? Just try to be a little bit more fair and understanding in the situation. Now, there was an offer that was given, or is going to be given, but it's going to be like it's not enough. So for some of you, maybe you're looking for something more if this is like a situationship and it hasn't happened, or they're just giving you the bare minimum and you want more. Have your standards, have your boundaries, okay? Don't lower them, because that's not going to get you where you want. It's just, okay, I'm going to compromise to keep you in my life for a little while longer. Don't do that. It's better to know up front than waste years of your life with somebody, okay? I know it sucks to hear, but I'd rather, hey, you tell me now this ain't going to be shit, and I can move on, as opposed to wasting my time, and a year or 2 years later we're still doing the same shit. So just be careful with these situations. Now, there's someone that keeps on thinking about the past, like they're living in that moment. So whatever it is that they're thinking about, it could be what you guys had, or it could be, again, whatever happened that's causing you to have this resentment. And it's like a constant negative thinking, bad thoughts that just keep replaying in your head. Okay, so you have to look at that and be real with yourself, and look at the situation and the relationship as to black and white, real simple. Write the shit down. This is what I need in a partnership. This is what I won't accept in a partnership. Am I getting it from this person? Am I not getting it from this person? Okay, pros and cons lists work really fucking well, because it's in your face. You can't deny it. You can't just be like, oh, it's okay. It's okay, because at some point it's not okay. You have to really sit and be like, okay, this is not working for me, and stop giving excuses or just saying, oh, no. Like, really sit down and look at how many times it's happened, and take note of it, because at some point you're going to be like, yeah, I'm sick of this. This is not working, okay? Don't just keep pushing it off. Hi, Khaled. How are you doing? Where is that? So, and some of them, there's like time's running out, and I don't know if the person realizes, or maybe you, whoever this is resonating for. It's like, if you've been giving them opportunities, if you've been patient, if you've been waiting for them to come and make an offer, or for something to change, or you're just kind of living in the past, time's running out, okay? So make a decision and stick to your decision, because as long as you sit in limbo, nothing's going to get done. You're not going to move forward, you're not going to move backwards, but you're not really getting what you want either, okay? And there's some people that are sitting here that may be living beyond their means. So if you are, be careful, or the person you're dealing with is telling you they have money or they have all this shit. They really don't, okay? So if they're taking you to expensive ass places or buying you expensive gifts, tell them to dial it back a little bit, okay? You don't have to tell them but just be like, oh, it's okay, I'm okay with staying in today, or you don't really have to buy me expensive ass gifts, okay? So that's for some of you, and others of you are kind of living your day to day. it's like a deep sadness and a fear, okay? So I'm not sure what it is that you're afraid of, but living with a deep sadness and fear at the same time is a terrible combination. Because when you get stuck in fear, you feel like you're not capable of changing your life or changing whatever it is that's going on. Thank you, Khaled. So, you know, when we're fearful, we won't take the necessary steps. We won't take the action just because we don't know how things are going to play out, which calls for us to have faith, okay? And then especially if we're sad, then we don't really care and we don't really want to function and we don't want to change anything because we're sad and we're depressed and we're like, fuck the world. You know, so both of those combined are not a good combination. And if that's where you're at right now, try to identify the feelings. Try to identify what it is you're afraid of and why are you afraid, because I promise you this will have something to do with your childhood and something that either happened to you that you weren't allowed to express yourself or you were fearful of doing this, okay? So just kind of go back and see where that began, because when you can see that, that's when you can heal it. Because you can heal this now, but ultimately it's a deeper rooted situation. Now, for this situation, if it's someone that hurt you and you have that resentment towards them and you're afraid of letting them back in, there is a balance that's coming in, okay? And the scales, if they haven't been balanced, they're going to be balanced. And when that happens, there's going to be a transformation, okay? And maybe both of you are going through this right now, are going through a transformation, because there's some mirroring that's happened, and maybe you're seeing each other in the 5th dimension, or you're seeing each other in your dream state. So if this is occurring, you know, like I said, a lot of stuff manifests on the 5D before it comes down to the 3D. So if you're seeing this person in the dreams, some of you are having like sex dreams. I was gonna look for a different word, but really I don't know any. Be like Borat and say sexy time? I don't know. But so they want you to surrender to the change, okay? So whatever it is, if it's you needing to transform or if they come back to you and they're transformed, hold space for people, okay? Because some people do change. Some people decide they want to be and act on their higher self. So just hold space for that individual and don't make it, just believe that people can change. But if they're showing you the same shit over and over again, then they didn't change, okay? But you have to accept the change. And for some of you, this is you that needs to surrender to the change. And by surrender to change is just stop holding on to the bad habits. Stop holding on to the toxic behavior. Stop holding on to those things that aren't helping you grow or aren't helping you change, okay? And some of you, it's, yeah, the person might have been very, like in and out or just kind of avoidant or not really present, and they didn't want to be forced or coerced into a relationship or forced into doing something they weren't ready to do, okay? So maybe now they're actually trying to be open to it, but don't try to force them because that's going to push them away. And this goes, again, the childhood thing. They want you to recognize the patterns, you know, the way you cope with things, the way you handle situations, the way you handle fear, the way you handle being hurt, you know, whatever it is. Look at how you handle these things and look at where you learned on how to deal with these things. You know, was your family open about things that happened? Did they shame you for having sex? Did they always yell at you and not allow you to have a voice? You know, try to figure out what it is and where you develop these patterns, because some of them are very toxic and they keep you stuck in a certain perspective and a certain way of looking at life. So when you're only seeing things like this, you're missing all of this, okay? So while right now you might not see that anything's happening or you feel like there is nothing going on that's bringing you any type of fruitfulness, Spirit is working, and even though you can't see it, there is movement happening, okay? And for some of you, it might be an actual move that's happening, but a lot of this is more internal and you just can't see what's going on right now, but Spirit is working in your favor, okay? Because they're saying you're caught up in this situation and you can't see the bigger picture. And sometimes when we're so caught up in things, we won't step outside of ourselves to notice the bigger picture. We won't see what's really happening because we're so focused on this. So let's say if I'm focused on, I think my boyfriend's cheating on me, and that's all I'm focused on is him cheating on me, him cheating on me, him cheating on me. I'm missing all these other things. I'm missing possible suitors. I'm missing anyone that actually has proof of what's going on. I'm missing everything that's happening because I'm focused on only one thing. When if I step out of that, information will come to me. Other people will come to me. Things that are meant to help me will come to help me, okay? So just pay attention to what's going on, because when you're too caught up in shit, you make bad decisions, especially if you're coming from an emotional place. So try to separate the two. And I know it's hard, but try to just control your emotions, because when we act on emotion, most of the time we regret those actions. I'm not going to say all the time, because sometimes people really do deserve to get punched in the fucking mouth. So, most of the time we regret the actions, okay? But they want you to be in a place of stillness, okay? Like I said, they want you to really see what's going on, so they need you to be still and try to focus and try to listen to what they're telling you, because they want you to be open to receive what they're bringing you right now, and they want you to maintain hope. So if this situation was heartbreaking and has been difficult and you're just like, man, fuck this, I'm tired of waiting, they want you to remain hopeful, okay? Because being positive and having that hope is sometimes all it takes for something to transform and come into fruition, okay? Especially if this is something that, if it's a job, if it's a person, like the person of your life, like you're like, I know this is my person and that's it and this is it for me. Maintain that, because as long as you have that faith and that hope, that's when things are going to start happening, okay? Because they're showing everything's coming in and falling into place. You just have to get out of the not so good headspace and the grieving and the negative energy, you know. And I'm not going to say just don't know. Feel your feelings, acknowledge your feelings, and then allow them to leave. Don't keep holding on to it. Don't keep thinking about it. Don't keep reliving it. Just feel it. Maybe for a couple days, because sometimes shit's real and it hurts a lot. So feel it, you know, but then let it go, because you don't want it to consume you. Hi, Brittany. How are you? Excuse me. Now, some of you are being tempted right now, and this could do with some self-esteem issues. And I say self-esteem because we tend to give into things that may not be for our highest good. Okay, so maybe something will come out that we're like, oh, I like that, or oh, I'm just gonna smoke, or I'm gonna drink, hey, you want to go party? And these things are not helpful to you, and because you just feel like you feel down, you feel sad, you're just like, fuck this, I'm tired, they hurt me, I don't know what to do. You start giving in to things that do not benefit you or serve your highest good. So it's important for you to acknowledge this, okay, and see where you're at emotionally and how you feel about yourself before you progress down this path, okay? I'm not going to tell people not to go down it, because there's lessons in every path you take, but ultimately it's just going to cause delays and cause you more pain and detriment, okay? So try to look at this differently, because again, perspective came out. They want you to really look at things from a different perspective and surrender to your life, okay? And when I say surrender to your life, is allow life to happen. Allow it to be a flow. Don't try to control every little thing that happens, because when we try to do that, one, we're stressed the fuck out. We're anxious. We're worried, because we're like, oh my God, what if this doesn't happen? What if this doesn't happen? And if this doesn't happen, and that's not going to happen, and we just trickle down. Don't do that to yourself. It's not worth I know person is not fucking worth it. You're going to go crazy. So if you start going with the flow, you know, sit in meditation, take a walk, whatever it is, and allow life to happen and appreciate what's happening. Just look at it as, like, if you were watching a movie about your life, observe, okay? Just look at it, because when you can step outside of yourself and just see what's happening, it's amazing. You're not as emotionally caught up, especially when other people are upset or wanting to argue. You're able to look at them and see where they're coming from and understand why they're so angry, but it doesn't change how you feel. It doesn't move you from where you're at, okay? Because they're saying that whatever it is you're gonna have a good outcome, okay? Whatever way it goes, you're gonna have a good outcome. So don't feel so wrapped up in it, but you have to just let life flow. Now, yeah. Some of you, all right. this isn't a lot of people, but some of you have, you're going to be having a conversation in regards to children, okay? And for some of you, this is something that really weighs heavy on you, and it's left you feeling really sad and broken. And this is something that's happening now. So if you haven't had this conversation, you're going to have this conversation, and it's causing someone to start doing risky things and risky behaviors. And they're contemplating an ending right now, which is with a third party. So if you have children, or if you had a child with someone that maybe they cheated and they had a kid with somebody else and they're stressed out because that's not what they wanted, or they found out that that's not their kid, then if somebody is very, very heartbroken and very, very sad right now, and it has something to do with children, okay? But someone is contemplating an ending. So if somebody's been cheating or having, extracurricular activity going on, they're contemplating on ending it right now because they miss their family. And if they lost their family because of the actions that they took, they're in a lot of pain right now, okay? So emotionally, they're unavailable, and they keep trying to escape. You people pick up bad habits, you do shit just to not feel your feelings. That's where they're at right now. They're trying to escape this because they keep remembering whatever it was that they had that they don't have anymore. So yeah, sorry. And if this hasn't happened, this is something that could be taking place in the winter time, and it could have taken place last winter when all of this began. And for some of you, it could be a vacation or someone coming to visit around that time frame. All right? Because they're showing that this was okay, so everything is lessons. Everything in our lives are lessons, okay? We choose what lessons we're going to learn, what we're going to go through in this lifetime. The only thing is we don't remember that when we get here, so we take everything very personally. So look at this as it was supposed to teach you something. What would you have wanted to learn from a situation like this? If this was, hey, I need to learn this lesson, what is the purpose for this lesson? What would you feel you need to take from something like this? Is it unconditional love? Is it releasing your ego? Is it releasing your pride? See where it is for you and what it is you needed to take from this and learn from this situation, okay? Because when you're able to do that, everything is you're not so much the victim. You're like, okay, I understand why this happened. I'm good. I can move forward. So some of you need to clear your space, release people that are around you that are toxic for you. Things that hold negative emotion, because sometimes we'll still have stuff from our exes, or we just have random shit that just has no meaning, or it has a negative attachment. Get rid of those things, because every time you look at it, all it's going to do is piss you off, and you're going to be like, why the fuck is this still here? I don't even like this. Just get rid of it, because it clears up space, okay? And they want you to be who you are. You have to stand in your truth and be who you are in order to overcome this, okay? Because they're saying you're about to go on a new journey. You're going on a new path. And when this happens, they need you to be creative. But the only way that creativeness is going to come is by you standing in your truth and being who you truly are. Okay? Because sometimes we get so caught up in what other people want from us or expect from us that we lose ourselves, and we're no longer the creative person. We're no longer us. So you have to be you in order for you to have the strong foundation that you need to create the success that you want. Okay? I hope that makes sense. I'm sorry, some of these messages are crazy as hell. And here we have multiple times you have to trust in timing. So if this is something that has taken a long time, or you feel is not making any type of progress, and you're just like, when is this shit going to take off? Understand that our time frame is more ego-based, because we feel like we need to have this now, or this is supposed to be happening already. Why isn't this happening? I'm running out of time. And that's only our ego, okay? Because everything happens as it's meant to. So let's say if you had a plan for your life and you're like, okay, well, at age 30, in spirit, you're telling spirit before you come here, you're like, I want to get married. By 35, I'd like to have kids and whatever. So let's say 30, you're still single. and you're like, oh shit, what's going on? I was supposed to be doing all of these things. Just try to understand that you already have a plan that's laid out for you, and you've agreed to this plan, and everything's playing out as it's meant to. So don't feel like a sense of urgency, like you're not going to make the cutoff, you're not going to make it to where you're trying to go. Everything is happening the way it is meant to happen, and you just have to trust that. I know it's hard sometimes when you really feel like everything's falling apart and it's not happening for you. It is, okay, because they want you to give love to the situation. And I always say come from a place of love, because no matter who you deal with, no matter how cold-hearted a person can be, when you come from a place of love, you speak to their soul. I don't care if they tell you that or they don't tell you that. You speak to their soul, okay? Because at the end of the day, everybody wants love. Everybody wants to feel loved. And regardless of how mean they are, and you can still give them that love, they truly appreciate it. And I compare it to like a feral animal, because a cat, they want to have a house and have food. They want all of that. But they're afraid because they were probably abused. They've been through so much stuff that they're defensive, and they don't want anyone to get close enough to hurt them again. So you have to take your time and kind of let the defenses come down in order for them to trust you and give you that love. So just bring love into the situation, okay? If you need to look at them like that, then look at them like that, because it'll make it easier to be understanding and open. But just be loving, okay? Because a lot of us don't mean to hurt other people. It's just our brokenness that comes out, and we end up hurting other people. Now, this is a little bit interesting. I don't know what to say for this one. There's a karmic relationship, so it's, again, the lessons that are meant to be learned, but this is more for like the masculine energy. Now, whatever this was, I'm going to tell you there's a couple different things. So one, it could be that the karmic partner, whoever this was that maybe you were dealing with, there was a lesson that needed to be learned, or something happened with the karmic and the masculine energy. Well, that'll be good. Something's going on with the masculine energy, because they feel very embarrassed. They're putting up a front like they're happy and everything's good, but somebody is, they're seeking revenge. Like they were trying to pay you back for something, or something happened that, if people are very twisted. So if there was like, you know how girls will set their friends up and be like, oh, hey, hit on my man, see if he'll talk to you or whatever, and maybe they slept together or something like that. And this, and if it was you, whoever it was, led to that and allowed it to happen, and they thought that, hey, maybe you thought they were full of shit and they were going to cheat, or they wasn't going to cheat, or whatever happened. But it hurt somebody's feelings. They felt embarrassed about it, and now they were trying to get revenge. So the revenge was probably setting you up with someone that they knew, or one of their friends, or some combination that they involved in that. I know I might sound out of my mind, but that's what's coming out right now. But this person regrets doing that to you. So if they set you up, or if you set them up, they regret that happening, because they've been putting on a front all this time, pretending that, oh, they're happy and everything's good, but they're really pissed off and they're seeking revenge. So that is one story. Oh, Jesus Christ. The other, here we have, again, karmic partner came out twice. So if you're with somebody, or we're dealing with somebody, that is not your person. Not your person, okay? That's confirmed 2 times. It's not your person. It is something that needed to be learned from this situation. So if you're a person that, if you're talking to somebody and you decided, oh, this man wants to play stupid, he want to hurt my feelings, and I'm gonna go do this, and you ended up with his friend, his cousin, his brother, or whatever the fuck, or vice versa, the sister, whatever, however this is playing out, this person took it very personally, and it hurt them, and they wanted to get back at you. So maybe they told their friend to lead you on, or however, okay? But they regret doing this, and now this person, the karmic partner, seems like they're watching you. So, however, this sounds fucking nuts. So if this person is watching you, Okay, they're afraid to come through. They're not coming out. They're not saying anything because they regret whatever actions they took towards you. Okay, so maybe they thought you were one way, but in time realized you were a different way. Now, this person is changing who they're around. They're getting rid of the people that they hang out with. They're starting to surround themselves with more positive people as they begin to ascend. Now, this person can be at a distance from you, or you're just at a distance because you're not talking. Okay, but Jesus, this just gets worse. So now there is something, like I said, they made a judgment about you. So whatever that judgment was, maybe it was a snap judgment, maybe it was a quick decision that they're like, oh, this person, he's a fuckboy, she's a hoe, whatever the fuck it is. They made a snap judgment, they walked away. Okay, and in walking away, they may have made more stupid decisions and possibly got someone pregnant. And in this getting somebody pregnant, there's doubt that that child belongs to them. And there's gossip possibly about this pregnancy not being their baby. This is a disaster, and I'm sorry. Holy shit. Okay, so let's hop to the pregnancy part. So somebody's doubting that this is, whoever this is, you know, that baby is theirs, or however, there's a doubt that they're gossiping about it, and someone is searching online for information. So they're keeping tabs. Now, I don't know if you guys are married or if this was a husband-wife situation, and now they're trying to get information in regards to use it in the divorce. So if this is something similar, or you know someone going through this, let them know that what they're online, they're keeping tabs on whatever it is that's being posted, whatever's being said. They're keeping tabs for that purpose, okay? So be careful, because it looks like this is something that may have happened over the summertime. And again, they keep showing me somebody that is just watching and stalking. So just be very careful, because they're looking for information. And for some of you, someone is actually looking to see if you are divorced, to see if you told the truth about that. Again, I don't know. So just pay attention to what's going on, and be careful who you trust with information, because everybody is not your friend. Now, this individual is going through waves of emotion. So if this person left you to go be with somebody else, and then this fuckery happened here, they're going through highs and lows of emotions right now, and they're realizing that the love you had for them was very unconditional, and they want to offer you a long-term commitment, and they have very strong chemistry. So you guys have a very strong chemistry together, and they want that back, okay? And sorry. You have to trust your intuition with this. Only you know if this person changed. Only you know if this person is genuine and this is really for you, and if this serves you. Only you know, okay? Nobody else knows. And if this is not a pregnancy, then there's a child, or there is some form of attachment that this person has to this other individual that they just keep pulling on. So maybe if they were long-term friends, they were in a long-term situationship, whatever it was, someone keeps pulling on their heartstrings. So just pay attention to these things, okay? And Spirit wants you now to give. So if sometimes to feel better, it's good to go out and help other people, okay? Even when we feel shitty, because you'll be like, oh, I did something nice for someone that actually is probably worse off than you, and they needed the help. So when you do things like that, it's good karma. And it also helps make you feel better, okay? But they want you to trust your intuition. 2222 is here if you've been seeing that number. So please, whatever you do, remember, do it in moderation, because, again, they want you to set your intention, and they're showing that your friends will help you. And this is like a really sticky, fucking messy situation, whatever this is, and however many people are involved. But it's a mess. And they want you to set your intention. So if you want this person back, no judgment. Just, like I said, be careful and make sure that mind, body, heart, soul, everything is saying, yes, this is my person. This is what I want. This is what I want to go towards, okay? And your friends You'll have people there to support you, but Spirit wants you to know that you have been through enough things in your life to know where the pitfalls are, to know that where the red flags are, to know like, okay, this is not working. I'm going to walk a different way now. Don't be afraid to change course. Don't be afraid to say, yeah, this is not for me. I thought it was going to be different and it's not. Do not stay in a situation just because it's been normal. Don't stay in a situation because it's been 10 fucking years. Don't stay in situations where you do not belong, okay? Don't feel obligated, because that's the worst thing you can do. You always have the choice to change course. It is your free will. You have that right. So Spirit wants you to remember that and acknowledge that, because you're ready to take the path and you know what to avoid and how to maneuver around these things, okay? You have to trust your intuition in order to solve the problems. And I know I get annoyed sometimes when they be like, trust your intuition, especially when you have a hard time connecting, because I'm like, what the fuck? My intuition told me go do this, and now look at me, I'm fucking crying. So our soul takes us to where we need to go for the lessons to help us evolve, okay? So don't look at it like your intuition's failing you. It's not failing you. It's helping you grow in a painful kind of way, which sucks ass. But, you know, I'm sorry. It's what it is. Hey, Janine, how are you? I'm hot as shit right now. I don't know. This message is crazy. So, this is a lot of stuff happening. Like, I feel overheated like shit. But yeah, you know, again, they want you to maintain your hope. And whatever this fuckery is, be hopeful, because best case scenario, the person that they possibly got pregnant it's not their kid, and everything's going to be peachy. And if the person that's going through the divorce, be smart, don't hide your shit, you know, lock your shit, put it on private, don't let everybody see your shit if that's what's happening, okay? Because people are spying on you. So maintain your hopefulness, and then again, they want you to follow your heart's desires. And if I repeat it, it's because the messages keep coming out, and it's just really like, hey, this is important, this is important, this is important. So I'm sorry if I'm repetitive, but I read what comes out. So please, you know, trust the intuition, because they're saying you have the tools to get through whatever it is that's happening, and have faith that everything will work out for you and for your highest good, okay? So don't feel like, oh, it's been pointless, this didn't serve a purpose. Everything serves a purpose. Now again, the bad thoughts. Refocusing is one of the first things I learned how to do. You know, I was listening to Abraham Hicks, and she would always talk about, you know, just try to refocus when you start having these bad thoughts, and not to give any negative thought more than, I think she said 17 seconds. Try to maybe like 15 to be on the safe side, but try not to give any negative thought more than that much time, because then you start giving it more momentum to build. 15 seconds is enough time for it to just drop dead where it's at in its track, okay? So shift it. You know, I'll think of something funny, or I think of my baby being a clown, something that brings me joy. And it takes time and it takes practice. It didn't just happen. Like, I would literally, every time I found myself getting pissed off or ready to flip out, I'd be like, oh, my baby's so cute, I love him. You know, just refocus like that. In time, it'll become more natural to you, and then you won't even have to do it, because the negative thoughts won't arise, because you're not welcoming them in. Okay? And if you feel like you're carrying the weight of the world, understand, you do not need to. You carry your shit, and only your shit, because it's yours. You don't have to carry Tom shit, Sally shit, Susie shit. You don't need to carry all of that shit, because it's not yours, you know? When you have people that come to you for help, or people that need advice, or whatever it is that they're seeking from you, be there, be supportive, but, you know, have boundaries. If it's a day where you're just absolutely like down and out and you can't handle somebody else's bullshit, just be like, you know what, today's not a good day for me. I can't really take on anything else. Maybe tomorrow we can have a talk if I feel better. Be honest, you know, and be true to yourself, because you don't want to keep giving of yourself or keep taking other people's shit on, because it just piles onto you and it stresses you out and it makes you sadder, especially if it's people you love that's going through shit. So just be honest, you know, and ideally you'll have a friend that'll be like, hey, you know, can we talk? Are you okay enough to deal with this or take this on right now? That would be the ideal situation. Some people just throw shit at you and you're just like, what the fuck? I can't deal with this right now. My life is falling to shit. So just understand it's not your responsibility, okay? Your responsibility is your shit. Everybody else's shit is everybody else's shit. Unless you got kids, then sadly that's your shit too. But don't believe what other people say about you. Okay, I say this all the time. Fuck what other people think. Everybody's always gonna have an opinion. Everybody's always gonna talk shit. Everybody's not gonna fucking like you. It's a sad fact, but that's the way that's it. That's the way shit works. Everybody's not gonna be your fucking friend. And just because if Tom thinks you're a fucking slut, Susie thinks you're a fucking crackhead, fucking Joe thinks you're a pimp, who knows? Whatever the fuck these people think, it doesn't matter, because only you know who you truly are. And so what if you were a hoe? So what if you was a crackhead? So what if you were a fucking pimp? Doesn't matter. Past tense. Everything is past tense. You just try to be a better person today than you were yesterday. Okay? Don't let people judge you. Don't let people bring you down. Don't let people talk shit to you about who you are, because you know who the fuck you are. And for some of you, if there's a situation that you've been trying to go towards, if you guys haven't been talking, or you've been debating on should I talk to this person, should I not talk to this person, and they're the ones that kind of told you to leave them alone, don't talk to me no more, and just kind of deaded it, they need to make that move, okay? They need to take the first step into making amends or making it work if that's something that they really want. Okay, you can't keep giving to the situation or going back to a situation because emotionally, I love them and I want everything to be good. And yes, yeah. We want all of that. But understand there are lessons that need to be learned. And maybe this person's ego is one of the lessons. And in order for them to attain that, it took you walking away and them realizing, like, I really want this person back in my life. And if you go back to them, then that's just giving them an ego boost instead of them releasing the ego to come back to you, regardless of whatever the fuck happened. If this fuckery happened, I'm sorry. But just understand, let them make the first move, okay? But it's time to make it now. So if they're watching, make the first move. Because once this step is taken, there's going to be a transformation that takes place, and it's going to be for the highest good, okay? So don't be afraid of taking that step. A lot of us get really in our heads because we're so afraid of being rejected, or we think they're not going to want us, or they're not going to like us, or it's not going to work out the way we're hoping it will. Take the first step. Just what if positive? If everything works out great and everything is peachy, what if that way, okay? Because this has a lot to do with something from the past, and whatever it was that happened, it triggered them. And it caused them to just kind of either block you, like stop talking to you or whatever. But it's something that keeps them very weighed down. And they're numbing right now because they're wearing a mask. And they're very, like, tormented by whatever it was that they did to you. Like, it is driving them fucking crazy, but they're not speaking about it, okay? So whatever happened, it triggered them. And it probably triggered them in a bad way. But it's also for their highest good to help them evolve past where they're at now. And the barrier to this situation is the silence and the non-action. So whoever it is that's been, this person hasn't been talking, that's what's blocking this. They have to get out of that ego space and just say, okay, you know what, I'm sorry, I fucked up. Whatever it is, they have to come forth and they have to make that amends, they have to come clean and say what they need to say, because until that happens, nothing's going to transform, nothing's going to change. You're going to stay stuck in this fucking holding pattern, or you guys are just going to get distant to the point where you're going to move on with your life with somebody else. And there's just going to be their loss. It is what it is. Like, there's only so much time you should give a situation, especially if it's not being reciprocated, okay? Don't spend your whole life waiting for somebody. Even if you know with everything within you that is your person, don't do it to yourself, because they're probably living their life. They're doing whatever the fuck they're doing. And even if they love you, they miss you, whatever, if they're not taking the steps, you need to continue living your life until they are ready to come forth. And if you're happily married, well then, hey, you should have came a few years ago. And if you're still single, well, lucky them, you get to try again. All right? But this person is working and raising their vibrations, and it seems like something that's going to be happening now around this season, probably between now and November. So it's going to be something unexpected that happened, and it's going to be very shocking to you. So you guys may be able to find a compromise, or there's some type of compromise that's going to come about, but it's going to catch you off guard. You're going to be very surprised at whatever this is that's coming. Okay, and sometimes they will not tell me what it is because it's supposed to be a surprise. So sorry for that. But this is, again, a lot of synchronicities. If you've been seeing the numbers, if you've been hearing the songs, if you've been seeing their fucking name, the synchronicities go on for forever. I know there was a time where Spirit, literally, I was at work, I was tormented for like 8 hours straight with fucking love songs, and I'm just like, okay, please stop. I will contact them. Just stop with these fucking songs. You know, that's how Spirit communicates. They'll be like, oh, you don't want to listen? I'm gonna harass your life. So pay attention to that, because this is a spiritual partnership, okay? And if something has ended or is coming to an end, allow it to end, because it's meant to end in order to bring in this relationship. And they want you to take care of yourself and rest, because some of you have not been doing that, or some of you have been going through this emotional detox or heartbreak, whatever is going on, and you need to take that time out. You need to just let things breathe and look at things from a higher perspective, okay? Because sometimes if you're able to look at your life like it's like a blank slate, you know, you get rid of all the prior notions, you get rid of ideas, philosophies, beliefs, attachments, and your experiences, it's easier to be liberated from all of the limitations that you have, because you're looking at it like, I have no belief system. I was just put on the earth right now today. And you didn't have all of society rules. You didn't have the street rules. You didn't have none of this. You're just a blank piece of paper. You're like, okay, I'm ready to start over. And you can create your life from that point, okay? Without the fear of how this person thinks or how that person feels or anything like that, okay? Because when you do that, then it's easier for you to be in alignment with what you want. And you're not worried about everybody else's feelings or opinions on what's going on. You have to worry about you and your feelings and your opinions, okay? Because that's what's going to put you into alignment with what it is that you truly want, because you're being honest with yourself and you're like, this is what I want. This is what I truly believe in my heart. And that's how you're going to get what you want. Okay. So don't chase things out of fear, because when you start doing that, it's like people that are codependent, you know, they'll stay in a relationship, or they'll keep chasing this partner because they don't want to be alone, or they're afraid, or they think they can't handle life. These are toxic behaviors that'll keep you stuck in reliving the same shit over and over and over, and these fucking patterns. Please pay attention. If you've been living the same thing over, you will notice. I promise you. Don't hold on to things that no longer serve you, because holding on to it is not going to put you in alignment. It's going to keep you back, and Spirit's going to be like, oh, clearly she didn't learn her lesson. Let's keep her here for a little bit longer. Nobody wants that shit. Let it go. It's meant to come apart, okay? You have to stand up and speak your truth. You have to be authentically you. And our guides are with us, our angels, you know, our ancestors, they're always around us. But I always say, you know, if you have kids, or if you ever taken care of a kid, you know, you don't hover over your kid like, hey, do you need this? Can I help you? You don't do that. You wait for them to call on you and say, hey, mom, can you help me? Mom, can you do this for me? You know, it's the same thing with Spirit. Yeah, they're there, but you have to call on them in order for them to come in and give you the help and the guidance that you need. And I do this literally every morning. I call the whole fucking team, everybody, come in, help me, protect me, guide me, all of everything. Because I don't want no more detours. I don't want no more pain. I want to take my highest path to get to where I'm going. So I call on them every day. Just do it that way, because it becomes easier for you to do. All right, it's easier for you to live your life. You have more clarity, you have more understanding. Everything works out better for you. And again, some people are meant to guide children. They're meant to work with them and heal and be a counselor for them. Some people are really good with kids, you know, and if this is you, work with that, okay? Because right now, these kids need our help. They need us to guide them. This world is so fucked up. They really need guidance right now. So go towards that, you know, whatever it is, whatever, if it's fucking sports, just talking to them, you know, wisdom, big sister, big brother, help these kids, because they really need that right now. And the signs that came in big today are Taurus, Sagittarius, and a lot of Libra. Okay, so Spirit wants you to have faith in what's going on right now, because stability and healing is coming in for these partnerships. Okay, and if you've made any sacrifices, understand it was not in vain. Okay, you will reach where you're going. You will find abundance and prosperity that you've been searching for, and if it's in a partnership, you're going to get that partnership. Okay, so don't feel like you've been doing all of this for nothing, and there may be messages that are going to be coming in soon. So thank you so much. Those are your messages for today. I love you guys. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Yeah, hopefully I'll be on here earlier tomorrow. Have a good day. Well, night.